music.
He's not a bat, he's a man who fights crime. And we're gonna watch him fight for a minute at a time. With John and Niall and a guest who doesn't rhyme. It's Bat Minute!
Greetings, citizens of Gotham, and welcome once again to Bat Minute Returns, the show that breaks apart and clumsily reassembles Tim Burton's Batman Returns 1 minute at a time. I am one of your hosts, John Parker.
And I am his counterpart, Niall McGowan.
Counterpart? That's... Because of the way Star Wars Minute were talking about it recently, that has a sort of a relationship-esque feel to it. Yeah. Well, it might have been on the weekend show. Maybe you've not heard it.
No, I think I'm just remembering it now that you said that. But well, now we've got Lal here, John. We might have to break some news to her.
Yes, joining us as our very, very special guest, once again, is my counterpart, the one, the only, the Minute P.A, the tireless P.A, working hard on all the paperwork, signing all the forms, getting the deals done behind the scenes. It is Lal Gall.
Hello, it is breaking work. Broke back mountain, I don't know.
Whoa, it's taken that turn again on.
I was worried Lal thought she was on Point Break Minute for a second. Like, what? No, it's a completely different film.
Yes, do check us out on Point Break Minute, me and Niall. You've been on, haven't you? Yeah, you have.
Oh, yeah, I was on.
I completely forgot because it took that hiatus.
Yeah, that was like long time ago. I think it was like a year ago when I was on or something. Long time.
But yes, welcome to the show. This is minute 77. Bloody hell. Star Wars, punk rock, 1977.
Talking
the minute
heads?
starts.
Talking heads,
Talking heads, yes.
Good year.
Good year. The minute starts with clown capers, and it ends with the princess not being in another castle for once.
Yay! With a very blatant trap. It's like everything about it's just like, oh my god, you wouldn't get away with this in a Batman movie nowadays. But we'll get to that.
We'll get to it because I think Batman knows, but we'll get there. But yes, we are back here at the Batmobile in the alleyway as the Red Triangle gang reveal that they have indeed been able to hack Batman's gear.
Yeah.
How have they done this? It's insane. We still don't understand how. But they've done it. They figured it out against this genius.
I mean, if you try to apply some kind of logic to it, you could be like, well, maybe because they had to maintain circus vehicles, maybe they know a lot about tech. But
like roller coasters and like waltzers,
maybe maybe they have some basic understanding of engineering, and they could potentially be just applying that to the Batmobile. But because even the fact they got this little remote that does the thing for them as well, it's like, well, that's pretty advanced technology. There is also
pretty
the thing,
damn advanced.
I think like we talked about, some people speculated that maybe it was Max Schreck has got them in touch with someone who could, reverse engineer the Batmobile, and that's how they know how to get in here and stuff. But then it's like, well, why would they send the Red Triangle gang to insert this thing? Why wouldn't you get a bunch of maybe get some of those engineers come in disguise to do it instead of just like, oh, those idiots from the circus, they could handle that. Where it's like, seems very, very risky maneuver to send these people.
He needs to keep it in-house because you don't want word of this getting out.
Yeah, that is true.
This is an undercover operation. He wants to pin everything on either Batman or the gang and not associate himself with either.
Yeah. But
where do these guys come from? What's their story? Is there any backstory to them? Maybe they are engineers that he's hypnotized, dressed up in various strange outfits, and
I like it.
Made to do his bidding.
There is no real explanation, and they're not in the comics like this or anything, are they? So
yeah, we do get it's just the Red Triangle gang. So yeah, they're just the gang the circus the Penguin was with when he was a kid, and then he somehow sweet talked a bunch of them into doing crimes with him. And unless he went out and got new psychopaths and then brought them into the Red Triangle gang as well. So we get a good close-up of several members here that don't usually get their kind of moment to shine. We got on the far right, the Python Lady, Much
I
bigger.
like her. She's cool.
Yeah, much bigger part in the original Dan Waters draft. It's like, nah, we ain't dealing with trying to work this python into everything.
Native American woman looks like Mad Chinamik.
Oh, I've got some information on her, actually.
Oh, I do. That's the only one I got info on for this. I was surprised. Now, first off, I'll let you say your thing, but I'm just going to say cultural appropriation.
Oh, very much so.
She's very, very white.
Well, the thing is, because then you get, like, we talked about the sword swallower guy, seen for probably the only time without a freaking sword in his mouth. We get to appreciate that he looks a little bit like Bobcat Goldthwait. And,
Why isn't Bobcat Goldthwait in these movies?
like, oh, Batman, I'm gonna wreck your car.
Oh my god, that would totally work.
He could be a Batman villain.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Bobcat Goldthwait for the Penguin.
I don't know if you guys are aware of how much, like, mutual friend of the show, Julie Martin, really has a real severe hard-on for
Yeah,
Bobcat Goldthwait for some reason.
she really fancies it.
Oh my word.
I don't get it, but
But she fancies Oogie Boogie as well, you know.
Oh, the Oogie Boogie Man from
As in
Thingy.
the actual cartoon, not the guy doing the voice or anything. The actual bag full of maggots and bugs.
Maybe she wants the maggots and bugs writhing all over her naked
no,
flesh.
no.
The thing is, though, like, a Bobcat has become like a sex symbol to one person. That means, like, there's, like, hope for us. There's hope for us all. If Bobcat can achieve that level, that status with one one attractive woman, we all got a chance.
There is a woman on the Star Trek Trekkies documentary who refers to herself as a Spiner femme because she fancies Brent Spiner. So maybe there's like a Bobcat Goldthwait version of that, like the Bobcat Tails or something.
I'm a bobtail. That could be his cartoon, Bobtails.
Yeah.
Bobtails. Woo!
That was Bonkers. Wasn't there a cartoon about a bobcat called Bonkers? I remember something about it. I remember it being vaguely, it was in that kind of mismatch amongst the Animaniacs and the Tiny Toons. I don't think it did anywhere near as well. It was sort of like, there's that other kind of similar thing, but just sort of faded into the distance.
Once you've got a rip-off of a rip-off of a rip-off, just call it a day.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, of course, then we do get, this woman in Native American attire, or she's referred to as Knife Thrower Dame. Which,
that's odd.
Yeah. Well, apparently this is because in the original script and in the novelization and whatnot, she's said to have 30 knives in her jacket that she throws around and stuff.
I'm not misremembering this, am I? Because obviously I try not to jump ahead too much, but she doesn't utilize those in the film.
never comes up. Would never even know she's a knife thrower dame if the Batman wiki hadn't told me that's who she is. Apparently there was supposed to be a bit during the earlier scrap in the streets where she threw a knife into Batman's chest that could hit the exact what the symbol is and stuff. I guess that would have solidified her or something. It's like, that's who that is. But no. This is, I don't think she's ever even holding a knife when we ever see her. But apparently that's who she is.
Wouldn't a tomahawk thrower be more appropriate for a costume? Knife thrower is not particularly Native American.
Well, in the comic adaptation, she is shown holding a tomahawk. So there you go.
Oh.
They realised that was wrong then.
Yeah.
Well, the whole thing's wrong. She shouldn't be wearing this costume.
Well, that's the thing, because this is... I don't know how much information you have on her, but the intensely white in that she's actually German as well, this woman. Yeah. This is Erika Anders. That's...
and she is incredibly ripped back in the day.
Yeah. That's the thing. She seems to be kind of wasted in the movie, considering, why make her a knife thrower dame? Because the thing, she's not been in many other movies. She featured in an episode of Lois and Clark. It's about the kind of
in a bit part though, not even a villain.
Yeah, but her main contribution to society, the thing she's majorly known for, is that she's Diamond in American Gladiators for like 70 odd episodes. So she was one of the main American gladiators for a long, long time.
She has not been on the steads.
Don't besmirch her good name. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Well, your sister is personal trainer, and she said you can't get abs like that as a woman without doing a little bit of juicing on the side.
I would say you could if it's all you do, if that's your job, you probably can.
She's got those shoulders on top of shoulders, those definitely upstairs.
Yeah, she's like China, the wrestler. Like, she's big. So you'd think they could have had her have a big fight with Batman.
They had Batman go up against like this big sort of rotund guy as a fight in this movie where he strapped dynamite to him and threw him off a thing. Yeah. He could have had a proper fight with this woman because she looks like she could take on Batman. Like, she is full on intimidating. You can't quite realize it underneath all the Native American attire she's wearing, but much kind of like if you saw, when Tom Hardy played Bane, he looks kind of ripped, but then it was the costume actually detracted from him because he had that big padded vest and stuff, and the mask kind of hid the fact that like Tom Hardy at that point was a monster of a man.
It's the same here, isn't it? Like, all this stuff she's got on is a negative, I would say.
Oh, 100%. But, like, she totally could have been... The fact you got, like, an American Gladiator. Also, I did find out, which I thought was very strange, was that American Gladiators came first, and then the UK had it, and then they just called it Gladiators.
Yeah, that always confused me as a kid. I never got it. Of course, our Gladiators was better.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
But...
oh, amazing.
You could only get, when I was a kid, like, probably around... early 90s, like 92, something like that, you could only get toys of American Gladiators. So my friend had toys of it, and it was the games, and it was really fun. But they didn't make UK toys, as far as I'm aware.
Oh.
Wasn't there a recent thing with Wolf? It gone to, maybe it's not that recent, actually. Like, recent to me is like 5 years ago.
20 years.
But, didn't he go completely off the rails, or am I just making that up?
Oh my God, I didn't think so.
There was something like about some controversy about him, which I can't be bothered to Google right now, but I'm sure he like did something or said something that was either weird, racist. I don't know.
Oh, I can imagine both of those coming from Wolf.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He's probably the nicest guy in the world now, said that.
So I do remember the whole thing they had, the scandal with Shadow, because he was like a mental cokehead while he was on Gladiators. And
yeah,
then I think
he was my favourite Gladiator as well.
Then he got arrested for... he had an elderly person's bus pass that he obviously stolen. And he tried to get on a bus with it, and they busted him. And I think that's how he got into like rehab and stuff.
Oh my word! What a like embarrassing thing to get arrested for.
My uncle is friends with one of the UK Gladiators. Who's the one from? I think, was he from Leeds, or is it Warrior?
Oh no, I'm not too sure. My knowledge of I met Hunter at one point.
Maybe it's Hunter.
It's Hunter.
I think it's Hunter. Let me look.
Yeah, because he came to our primary school, and I was like, "Oh, get your picture taken with Hunter from Gladiators." And God bless him, he was putting in the like. I just didn't really care. Like he was a gladiator I didn't care for on the show, so I was just like, "Oh, whatever." I wasn't that starstruck. I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then, but I remember there's a photo of me and him when I'm like 7 or something, and this big hulking brute of a man, and he's really looking like he's like making an effort with the kids and stuff. So bless him for that. But like at the same time, it was just like, well, you have to accept, jobs taking like, I'm going to visit a Northern Irish primary school. Like,
well, that's cool. I think. I just saw here as well. He was considered the ultimate gladiator.
Really?
Because he competed in a competition between the gladiators.
Holy crap. Maybe I should have been more starstruck by this guy. Maybe it was like, holy crap, I got my picture taken with Hunter.
The ultimate gladiator. And he went out with Ulrika Johnson, a UK TV staple.
Oh.
Well, that's not much of an achievement. Who hasn't gone out with her?
Oh!
Come on, guys.
To be fair, she's in on that joke as well. Not that we personally know her, let me just...
Ulrika will be on the show next week, of course.
Yes, tune in for Ulrika.
But yeah, I just thought, the whole, it's American Gladiators, even though she's German, so she's not even an American Gladiator. What the hell? But
it's a lie. I've been sold a lie all my life. I was told they were Americans, and they're not. They're real Americans, like Hulk Hogan.
I am American.
All right there, Roo. Mama Roo in the corner.
But,
yes, God.
But I'm guessing, though, why they didn't just hire a Native American actress, I don't know. But I'm assuming this might be, the reason she's there in that getup is this is a reference to, like, and this is the term, it was a politically incorrect term nowadays, but, what they used to call show Indians. which
Yeah.
were like the kind of Buffalo Bill thing where they used to have kind of traveling shows of when America was sort of, past the Wild West stages. They got into the sort of era where, like, yeah, we used to talk about all that old stuff we used to do. And then they have they used to do shows with Buffalo Bill used to do a whole show about it.
Yeah.
So actually, I got a little thing from the Wikipedia on it here as well.
Oh,
Just to say, like, oh yeah, the popular the popular image of Indians as living in tribes, sleeping in teepees, wearing feather headdresses, being equestrian, and hunting bison was fueled by the Great Plains serving as the principal source of Indian performers. The Great Plains was one of these show Indian groups. The popular perception of the Sioux as the distinctive American Indian first emerged in the early dime novel writers. Then the Wild West shows maintained that image, and it persisted through film, radio, and television westerns. So, and yeah, basically those dime novels were brought alive on stage for people in these Wild West shows, and
before your very eyes.
yeah. So, and I believe the Native Americans themselves used to refer to themselves as Oscate Wakasa, which means showman. And of course, the rest of America called them show Indians, which is probably a problem in and of itself. But yeah, I'm assuming that's what they're going for. But then why hire this woman? Why hire a woman so built that she looks like she could legitimately fight Batman? Not utilize that. Call her the knife thrower dame, then have her never hold a knife in the whole goddamn movie.
Well, that's a double thing there, because if she's that big, that buff, that ripped, why does she need knives?
Yeah.
Like, give the knives to a different goon.
Look at the sword swallowers, right? Maybe that's why he's so close to her. It's like, oh, he's in the swords, she's in the knives. Maybe they got a thing going. He looks like Bobcat Goldthwait, but apparently that is no longer an obstacle for people.
They're into knife play.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's
getting kinky. Well, the whole damn film's kinky, so...
This has been a kinky podcast.
Yeah.
we've struggled with the PG rating.
I think there's like the thing, the episodes edited. The thing was the one with Rory Spence, where we're talking about the French flipper trick, and it's like, I don't know if we're ever going to get that out. I don't think we can pass that off on iTunes has been like, yep, this is acceptable. This is family approved content.
Doesn't French flipper trick sound like a great name for a bar, though? Or like a cocktail or something?
Cocktail.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be good.
What would you put in it? It'll be like vermouth.
Like champagne, maybe? Because
Yeah.
it's French, isn't it?
You just want champagne. That's
Yeah.
really what...
The champagne taste, lol. That's what you...
The
champagne taste.
champagne taste.
Everybody, please,
Oh, no.
please Google or go on YouTube and look up the champagne taste.
Champagne Jam's car. Sorry, just stop me now.
But also, we'll just say, finally, that big remote just looks like it's a Twister lollipop plopped on top of some sort of...
Oh, yeah. It's the wrong colours, though.
Yeah.
But otherwise, yeah. Maybe it's a new flavour. They apparently have a couple of flavours now, which has blown my mind. Because as a kid, there's one flavour.
And this might be the American version, though, because all red, white, and blue. So they're like, yep.
It's got like a laser beam, though, so maybe it's like a Twister lollipop, but for a cat, like a cat toy.
There you
To
go.
draw Catwoman, like making her chase the red dot.
Oh, my God. There needs to be a plot line where people get Catwoman to do their bidding with a little red laser pen.
Or distract her with like a piece of string and she just starts playing with it.
It's like,
Epic.
finally, the one downside to being a cat is revealed, how easily distracted she is.
I'd love a scene of her just like licking her own butt, because they do that all the time.
I mean, we got close in this movie where she was giving herself a bath. So
Yeah, who knows where that scene went when we weren't watching.
that's the thing. So I think we talked about it at the time too, but that would have got like old if you were sitting there watching that after a while. Because now she's done the head. And she has to do everything else about it. She's got to get dehydrated too, like rubbing her tongue along that pleather or whatever.
You know the Penguin never once got tired of watching that.
But I guess you'd have to go and get like a pitcher of water and like, all right, so I better rehydrate and stuff so I can re-lubricate and all this kind of business.
Yeah, you might as well just have a bath.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Stop being such a crazy person, pretty much.
Well, speaking of crazy people, we see on the left here this clown again.
Oh, yeah. This is Dougie Jones.
Yes.
Dougie Jones.
It's him again. And it only just dawned on me, right? He's bald. Well, he's not bald. He's wearing a bald cap.
Hang on, Dougie Jones is in the guys in Shape of Water.
Yeah,
Is that you mean?
that's him.
Yep.
That's him.
That's him. That's the chap.
I suppose he would be very young.
Yeah, he's pretty young here.
Are you now as a bald man, John? Are you like, okay, we got the Native Americans out of the way? Talk about bald cultural appropriation with this.
Yeah, it's
this guy is not follically challenged in any way, shape, or form.
nope. He's not a member of the bald community. I'm not
What a
accepting.
disgrace.
You can see the hair tucking out from under. You look around his ears, down the back. It's all there.
He's not glued that down. You need to glue your wig down. But my main problem is, right, if his job is to be a bald clown, that's clearly his thing. That's his gimmick. Just shave your hair. Don't put this crappy bald wig on. Just shave it. Be easier for everyone.
Well, you never know. Maybe he's like, maybe he's got a day job. That's like, oh, that would be inappropriate.
But like at the bank.
Yeah. I don't know, maybe he's like a kindergarten teacher or something. It's like, like a guy with a shaved head sends out a kind of. Nowadays you get away with that, but like maybe back in the early 90s, they're like, kind of makes you look like you're like a neo-Nazi or something. So like,
yeah, I mean, especially if they were filming. No, actually, no, it was still early 90s. I was going to say if it was still sort of the late 80s. In the 80s, it was definitely seen in quite a negative light, I think. Which always puts me off on like wearing 80s clothes, which is a shame because I love 80s fashion. I love bad clothes, right? But I never think I look right in them now because every 80s look has hair, masses of
Oh, no,
hair.
it was definitely like that was when I shaved my own head first as well. It was like you had to start sort of rethinking your wardrobe almost as well. Like, I don't know if a lot of things I was wearing are going to suit this look, so.
Yeah.
Embrace the bald, guys. Don't let it define
Oh,
you.
but
Don't
we
let
are.
it stop you.
No, but some stuff just... And I love stuff that doesn't go, but some stuff really doesn't go.
Yeah, but look at Mama Roo. Prime example right there. It looks amazing in a suit.
Yeah, but they're very nicely tailored, expensive suits made for a bald man. Yeah.
That's the thing I always get too, because I'm a guy who wears, frequently wears hats now. But in seeing like, oh, this is a guy who has a full head of hair, but he's got a bald skin cap on. And I've seen people who wear hats all the time too. But the thing is, when I wear them, it's like, oh, I've just got a shaved head underneath. So it's like, I'm not maintaining anything. It's just like, yep, just putting that on top of, a bare scalp. But you see people who wear hats all the time, and then they have they take the hat off. They got like a nice head of hair that's actually kind of quite well maintained. That's kind of like, well, what's this about? Like someone going around with like a baseball cap on, taking it off, and then there's luscious locks coming on underneath.
Yeah, when I had hair, I never wore a hat because I didn't want to mess it up. It would look like crap if you took the hat off.
Well, as a lady who likes to wear a hat, well, a beret most of the time, you have to commit to it. So you can't be taking it off because you will just have marks on your forehead and really like hat hair, basically. So it's either you wear it and you commit to it all day, even if you're like boiling, or you don't wear it.
Suffer for fashion.
Suffer for fashion, doll.
I do have some boots that are too small for me. Every time I wear them, the next day my toenails gone black on my big toe.
Such a fashion victim.
But they're lovely, damn it.
Ugh. But anywho, so they unlock. We just saw the Batmobile getting locked up, and now we're getting to see it undone in the next damn minute.
Yeah, with a sonic screwdriver.
Oh yeah. And then you get to see like the little the things go on the side there, very kind of like spidery kind of look. I like that effect. I thought that was that's pretty cool.
Very spider-like. You thought the same thing as me. It looks amazing.
Very Burton.
Oh yeah. This is full Burton.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole movie is, but especially this.
And then we got this is actually a weird memory I have actually of this shot. We get Batman on top of the roof, then looking down on Gotham Plaza. And it's bizarre too, even looking at the specks of people. And it's like, this is obviously like not real people, but it still looks as if it's very sparsely populated. It's like you couldn't have put in a proper massive crowd even there. Like, nah, we only got like, there's maybe about 60 people in total in that plaza.
I'll let them off because every time people gather en masse, they're murdered by a weird clown or something in this series.
That is true.
Stay home, people.
Yeah. But that shot of him looking down, I remember when I was a kid, before I saw this movie, before it was available on VHS, my granddad bought me the Batman Returns annual, And I remember in the center of it, you open it up, and this is this big double-page spread of this image. And I remember
it's an interesting choice of image.
Yeah, and I remember as a kid being like, that looks really, really cool, and it was always an image that stuck out to me every time I watched it. Like, that's that shot from the book and stuff. And it always felt very strange in that, like, it all happened to all of us now as well. Like, because my granddad, okay, he was like a guy at that point, because he died he was like 101 when he died.
Whoa,
and so
good going.
And so like then this would have been, and that was a couple of years ago. It was about 8 or 9 years ago that he died. So he would have been like in his 80s probably when this movie came out. And he was a guy grew up in the Republic of Ireland back in the days when it was the cliched kind of Ireland you saw, the rollicking country fields and the cobblestone steps and stuff.
Horses running through council estates.
Yeah.
Eyebrows on the cheeks.
But even predating that, like he would have been like way, back in the kind of like the Saoirse Ronan in Brooklyn days would have been borderline my granddad.
Oh.
I remember he saying, like, my dad always says, like, oh yeah, Geronimo. The Native American chief Geronimo was still alive when my granddad was a young man. And stuff.
He met him.
But so
That's
the fact
insane.
that, so the thing is, like, you can tell, like, it was obviously, he was like, well, what can I get the kid? And like, I'll get him this Batman annual. The idea of my granddad, this old Irish guy, looking at Batman Returns, I can imagine him just being like, what the hell are the kids looking at these days?
What's happened to this generation?
Yeah, it's like, what is this warped, crazy crap?
And now you're analysing it minute by minute. What would he say?
I was like, that's that guy from Taxi. I was like, Taxi would be too modern for him as well. He's dressed up as a mutant. It's like, what's going on? Who is Bat? Why is there a woman dressed in fetish gear? Like, why? Your son's like 5 years old. You want me to give him an annual of this?
He wasn't into the talkies.
No, he was like waiting for Greta Garbo to make her comeback or something. Proper full-blown Mr. Burns kind of levels.
Charlie Chaplin sauntering in.
I am picturing a Mr. Burns-esque fellow here. Revulcanize my tires, post-haste.
But yeah, so it always makes me think of that. It's like, oh yeah, but he must have had no time. But at least he got me. To be fair, he got me he did get, like, I'm sure it was under my mom and dad's recommendation, but that was actually almost definitely my mom's recommendation. My dad wouldn't give Batman the time of day either. So
Well, no, let's be honest. He probably saw Catwoman and thought he was being asked to buy the boy pornography.
So anyway, Batman's up there again. It was bizarre. We saw him get out of the car. Didn't take out a grappling hook. He seems like he presumably has climbed up all the way himself, just like, oh god, he's just taking a breather. And then I guess he's up here now as like a vantage point to like, okay, so something's gonna happen at Gotham Plaza.
That makes sense. Survey the scene from high.
Yeah, he's a bit too high almost though. It's kind of like, I don't know if I want to see anything. Like, maybe now he's like, okay, all right, I better go down a few stories here and come out on the balcony somewhere or something.
That is a good point, because he doesn't have like special bat eyes in the costume like some Batmen.
Yeah. Although it could be the same from what we said about at the beginning of the first movie when the mugging happens. Or like, holy crap, he seems very high up to view that mugging. And that's why it's like, oh, you can't just swing down and do something. But I was like, oh, no, God, it's way too high. So this could be like Batman would observe something happening in Gotham Plaza and then be like, oh, no, he does. Oh, to be fair, he does have the glider with him this time. So maybe he could get down there a bit more sharply. But yeah, so, but it doesn't spot anything down in the plaza. He looks conveniently across the way to see the captured ice princess awaiting him in this bare warehouse.
I've got a problem with this. How did they know he would get out of the car there, climb that building to that height, and look out at that moment that he would see the ice princess there?
Yeah, that's all very valid questions, really.
I'll let them off.
I mean, maybe it could be like, oh, this would be the best view of Plaza from here.
Is it though? I mean, there's other buildings of similar height around.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this plan coming up. We'll cover in the next few minutes. They were really depending on certain things being in place for this to go off exactly the way it goes off and stuff. But
yeah, and on top of that, as we've said, like one look at this and it's clearly a trap.
Oh yeah.
I think he knows, but like at this point he doesn't care. He's got to just spring the trap, basically. He's got to deal with it at this point.
Yeah. Nowadays, though, like, again, if you're used to, like, your Arkham games and whatnot, this would be, like, detective vision. You'd be like, okay, so something's clearly hidden around here. So it's like, oh, this woman sitting in this vast, empty office, like, floor of a office or a warehouse or whatever you want to. It wouldn't be a warehouse that high up, but so it's like, okay, clearly something is amiss here. But no, yeah, he's just like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to go do this now. Takes out this a very cut down version of the thing we saw in the first movie. Remember, he had I don't know what the exact term for this thing is, like launch line or something.
Line launcher, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is considerably smaller, thank God, but it's still far too big for him to keep it on his person.
But that first one was like you saw him flash it in front of the Joker, and then it's like, yeah, it's just like a massive inconvenience, that thing.
Just backtracking slightly, because John referred to it being a trap. Would it be a stretch to say that the Ice Princess is a bit like a mouse in the trap, because she's white, she's fluffy, she's all tied up, and then in the next minute the Catwoman comes together, so it's like a cat catching a mouse.
Oh, a cat playing with the prey.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I like that.
I just thought of that now.
See, I think that's a very good thing I have never considered.
Like symbolism.
But it did remind me of The Dark Knight, though, when he has to make that choice between the two, and he makes the wrong choice because he thinks he's making the right choice.
Oh yeah, or the Harvey Dent or Rachel thing. Yeah.
It reminded me of that. Obviously, there's only one person here, but it's similar setup. It's a similar environment and thing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah. So then he gets the line launcher across, and then scoots across to get the Ice Princess. And then we cut back to the now deconstructed Batmobile, which is these people hard work. I do like the headgear they've got. This very elaborated Tim Burton insect-like apparatus they've got that has like I guess little diagrams or something, but it looks like they're X-rays.
It's the blueprints, basically. It's the actual blueprints, the proper ones. I love that they've got that, because I was thinking to myself initially, and I've never noticed them. So I was thinking, like, well, how are they remembering all of this? This thing's really complicated. That's how. They've got the guide there of what to do.
Yeah.
I still don't understand how they learned to do this to the most advanced technology in the world, even with the blueprints, but, whatever.
Yeah. And the thing is, though, I can give it, like, okay, the monkey's there doing something. Like, it's on top, it's fiddling about with stuff. But the thing is, the Poodle Lady is there holding the poodle. She's got the apparatus on. What's she contributing to this situation? Because her arms are full with the poodle, so...
Morale. She looks cool.
Distractingly fabulous.
She is. We have a bit of a... Well, I mean, I do. I don't know about now. I have a bit of a crush on the Poodle Lady.
I'll allow it.
But the thing is, like, it'd be like the guy in The Simpsons with the Homer's in prison, there's a guy playing harmonica next to him, just like, what are you in for? Atmosphere.
But, I mean, yeah, as you say, though, the monkey's joining in. Why isn't the dog helping? Come on.
Well, maybe the dog has a big important job at the end or something. Like,
yeah.
Because the thing is, a Poodle Lady could be kicking it back in the sewer, or, as we'll bring up next week, there's a very important job that the Penguin himself decides to take on, which the Poodle Lady could have done. Like, why the Penguin was there to incriminate himself, I don't know. But, like, we'll deal with that next week. But yeah, so then we get, again, it looks like I really do enjoy as ludicrous as the situation is. I do enjoy the appearance of it, though.
Oh yeah, in fact, the strict draft, again, my favorite draft, has a great line about this. It says, "The Batmobile has been dismantled like a post-Thanksgiving turkey." It's just the carcass of bones and pieces strewn about the place, which, even more visceral an image to me, a vegetarian, and to you, Lal.
And then, we get the final couple of seconds here. We get the Batman strutting in. Just, again, though, strutting into the trap. Like, not even going like, okay, so walk in carefully, like maybe give like a bit of a side eye or something.
Yeah,
Just
scope it out,
Yeah, but he's just like, nope, just tearing on through. Ain't got time for this. Gonna do this quickly and get out of here. It's like, you naive fool, Batman. I know it's only your second movie, but surely you must realize that this is all a ploy.
Again, I think he does. He's just like, well, I'm running out of time. He's working to a schedule because I think he knows it's a distraction as well.
Oh, yeah.
Something else is happening.
It's also his OCD again. He's working to a schedule.
Ah, yeah. He's got other Batman things to be doing tonight.
I was thinking him again, the Antiques Roadshow with Alfred. It's like, oh, Alfred's gonna kill me if I don't get home in time for this. It's like, we could just buy a tape recorder, Master Wayne. No, I need to watch it when it's on, Alfred.
It's not the same.
Yeah, it's just like, if I see something in the papers, they'll tell me they don't report on the Antiques Roadshow in the papers.
Well, they should.
You never know, Alfred. And then, so Matt goes over and begins to free the Ice Princess. And that's pretty much the end of the action for this minute. Let's check it.
Yeah.
Let's see what time we on. This is a much shorter episode than the last one we did.
Is it? What's the? Oh yeah, that's pretty short for us.
I have barely any notes for that one, to be honest. Hence why I was quite quiet.
You don't have to always apologise for being quiet.
Quality over quantity.
But yes. So before we depart once more, Lol, would you like to tell our good listeners where they can find you online?
Yes, I can be found on the Mogwai Minute, and I'm also on Mean Girls Minute with Niall. And I have a not a Tumblr. Tumblr's rubbish now, isn't it?
Well, you do have one, but who the hell uses that junk now?
I haven't used it in years, but I've still got a picture on there that's still getting reblogged. It's got about 37,000 reblogs. Not to boast, but but it is crazy, isn't it, John?
It's essentially an accidental foot fetish photo.
No, it was
That's what I mean. Accidental.
It's basically a picture, and I know you know this story, Niall, of my very cool eyeball socks and shoes, which I no longer own. And it keeps getting, every time I do get a notification from Tumblr, it's that picture being reblogged again.
By a foot fetish blog.
It's just, it's gone viral.
You should have sold the image. Don't give it out for free.
It's out there now.
These toes are expensive.
So I can be found on Instagram. Kamikaze Rainbow is my Instagram.
Yes, check it out, everyone. And
I
check
should
us out.
also add the law that do you no longer own the socks and the shoes because you've sold them on to some sort of bizarre foot fetishist who got in contact with you through Tumblr?
No, it's not that exciting. I've still got the socks. I just haven't got the shoes anymore. They fell apart.
This is where the money lies, lol. Sell the old shoes. I'm telling you. Weirdos on eBay will pay. I sold old shoes on eBay and got money. It's like, I'm a hideous beast. Beast. Anyway, on that, we will depart. So come and join us on the Bat Minute Listeners Cave, or send us a tweet at Bat Minute. Original, huh? Bet you never would have guessed it was Bat Minute. We're Bat Minute everywhere. Just type that into Google. We'll pop up. We're on everything. Whatever. And join us again on Friday for more fun. It will be Bat Minute Returns, minute 78. See you then.
Next time, eruption at the extraction. A royal reclamation rolls on without a hitch until a ruckus from the roof makes this rescue a bitch. Who will be tamed and who will be maimed as a result of the Cat Dame's latest game? Find out Friday. Same Bat Pod, different Bat Minute.